Hey guys, this is Aaron again, coming at you today with a Dogmatica deck profile. So I'm doing this deck profile right after the Relinquished one. Yeah, this is probably the newest archetype that I've done. The other day I was just playing like a bunch of old school stuff, like Relinquished and like tunes and stuff. So you know what? I'm gonna try something new today. So I'm gonna do a Dogmatica slash Dragma deck profile. It came out about 3 years ago, 4 years ago. I mean, so it's already a few years old, but not as old school as Blue Eyes. But yeah, this deck reminds me of like big old like light type decks like Light Sworns or Blue Eyes, or like even Fairies, or these like giant like high level monsters that negate everything. So this deck reminds me of them like old school like cool like light type Judgment kind of decks. So I really enjoy it. So yeah, let's get into it. I have for the first three monsters I have Fleur de Lis, Dogmatica. I like to summon monsters and attack. It's emoji that way. Yeah, so when it declares an attack, all your Dogmaticas can gain 500, so you just keep attacking. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And then I heard you can negate an effect monster on your opponent's side of the field if you have it in your hand. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I run it at three of. Some people run it at one or two. I like it to run it at three because just more board presence. I like board presence. To one of the tech cards, I have a Gizmek Orochi. Yeah, I use this because it's a level 8. So you run a couple level 8s here. You have the, was it the Dogmatica Maximus? You have the Gizmek, and then you have Fleur de Lis Dogmatica. So all these level 8s, you can just like summon a couple of rank 8s right here. Because I like using rank 8s. My favorite extra deck monsters are probably XC monsters because they're just easier to use, like rank 4s and rank 7s, rank 8s. You don't need to use poly, just like summon into it. And it's a very easy mechanic to use. Like even newer players, like XCs are pretty easy to learn. That's why I like XCs. It's pretty cool. Yeah, so three Fleur de Lis, one Gizmek for more special summons. You have a Dogmatica and Maximus. I thought about running at two or three. I feel like one or two is fine. I just run it at one as for now. So you can dump cards from your extra deck, and then you can make your opponent dump cards from the extra deck, which is pretty interesting. Yeah, I like this deck because yeah, it screws up your opponent's extra deck plays. Because like a lot of decks nowadays, a lot of meta cards or like faster, more modern cards, they use the extra deck a lot. So if you have any way of removing your opponent's extra deck monsters before they can play it, it's pretty good. Yeah, this is a pretty nice negation deck. I kind of like it. Kind of dig it. It's my kind of style, anti-meta. So yeah, yeah, Maximus three, Ecclesia the Virtuous. I like it because I like. Oh yeah, actually, I like this archetype because of like the religion and the history behind it. So it has a lot of like Eastern, like Southeast Asian like religion stuff, and you have like early church history, like religion stuff. Like it has a bunch of like religion and history hidden behind it. Yeah, Ecclesia means church in Greek, old school Greek. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's a nice yeah searcher monster. Three virtuous Ecclesia. Three honest because I use this to attack, and then it just buffs all the monster attacks. So three honest. It's pretty nice. If you want to run some other combo cards, you could. I just have three honest because I just summon stuff and attack. That's how I roll. Uh, Next one, I have three Adins. So these you kind of need honest to help it to attack, but I mean you can just like ram it in, like it just dies during the battle phase, and you can summon another Dogmatica. So this one, usually like sometimes I just like use this to attack into opponent's monsters, and then I just summon it for the list, and I just keep attacking. So it's pretty cool. I mean, some people don't run these, but I like to run it because I just attack. If you run into like problems, you can just summon like Dogmatica, Albazoa, just like remove everything, which is freaking insane. But yeah, I have three Edins or whatever you call it. Three Ash Blossom, you know what those do, and then two Dogmatica Albazoa. I ran one of these at first, but dude, this thing is so good. It's so good. I decided to run two. So yeah, I have two of them. You just remove like what, like in the beginning of the game. If you summon this in the beginning, you just remove like literally like half your opponent's extra deck, which is pretty insane. So they can't make any plays. Uh, yeah, I love this card. Big old, big old monster, big old boy. 4,000 attack, 4,000 defense. Just removes everything in their extra deck. It's crazy. I'm amazed this thing is like 50 cents or like a dollar. I don't know how much it costs, but like, dude, that's crazy for like how powerful this thing is. Like to be so cheap and easy to get. Yeah, and the artwork is kind of creepy. It reminds me a lot of Magic the Gathering. It reminds me of like those Phyrexian nightmare horror, like giant Phyrexian nightmare monsters. Like has the same like coloration, has like the pale dead white skin with like the pinkish purplish like claws, like bloody claws. It's kind of creepy. It's kind of cool. I like it. So yeah, two of these. Yeah, so these are the two big boss monsters I summoned the most out of this deck. It's really cool. I like it. I have a White Knight Dogmatica. Sounds okay. It's kind of whatever. I have it there just because it's a third ritual, because I run three ritual spells. Three Nadir Servants to search out your cards. One Ultimate Slayer. I was running two at first. It's kind of cloggy, but so I just run one to just like remove a monster on the field. It's just monster removal, like a different kind of monster removal. More monster removal. Raigeki, spell removal, Heartbeat's Feather Duster, Reasoning to summon more stuff. Foolish Burial, just dump more cards and just like bring it back after Monster Reborn. Three, Dogmatic Calamity. I thought about running it at three. I might run it at three later on, but I have two of these for ritual summons, and then I have a Dogmatica Macabre. Because for this one, you can, I believe, remove cards. Yeah, you can remove cards from the graveyard. So yeah, it's two different ways of summoning. They're both good. I like this one a little bit more, the light one. It's pretty cool. Two dualities. So this is the main. This is the main way to summon out your Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. So yeah, this guy, this big boy right here, Albazoa, the like big old 12-star 4,000 attack boy, and then Red Eyes Dragoon. These are the main two monsters I summon from this deck. Like it gets pretty insane. Like once you get your board after like one or two turns, like you can negate like so much stuff and remove so much stuff. This deck is like pretty crazy. Yeah, compared to like the old like Toon stuff that I run. Yeah, duality. I just like because you run a lot of like level 8 lights. You run like a Dragma or a Dogmatica Maximus is a level 8 light, and then this one's also Fleur de Lis level 8 light attribute. So you just sack them with duality and you just summon a Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. It's really cool. And then you get a bunch of negates with Dark Dragoon on the field. Dogmatica Matrix. This is the main card, the main searcher of the card of the deck, along with a Disciple or Nadir Servant. Yeah, so I summon her, and then I just grab a Dogmatica Matrix, and then you can add a Ritual monster, and then like any Dogmatica card. So I use this to just grab this Albazoa, and then I grab Dogmatic Calamity. So I just grab two cards right away from this one card from Dogmatica Matrix. It's really good. I really like this card. Probably one of my favorite cards in the deck for Searcher. And then I have a 3 Solemn Judgment to stop your opponent even further because I can. Again, this deck is kind of like a. I feel like it's like a kind of like a fairy negation. It reminds me a lot of like the older like fairy negation decks. So that's why I put Solemn Judgment to like stop your opponent even more. Again, Solemn Judgment is my favorite trap card of all time, so I run it there. Onto extra deck. So yeah, the main deck is cheap, but damn, the extra deck is expensive. I looked it up. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a cool deck, but yeah, this stuff gets expensive. But anyways, I have a Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, one of the main extra deck monsters I run into. Dust Dragon, this is the more expensive one. Looks cool. To summon more monsters, I dump the Ashen Dragon or Ash Dragon to summon more monsters. I use this guy. So I sometimes I use like some of the Dogmatica cards to dump this guy, the Tri Brigade guy, to dump the Garura to just draw. Yeah, so I just dump that. This effect activates. I dump this, draw one. And then Natis, Elder Entity, I use this to just destroy a card on the field. I don't use it that much. Again, the main card I use is Red Eyes Dark Dragoon and Albazoa. Yeah, so those are the fusions. Onto the synchros, I have two Despian, Lulua Lilith. Dude, this card is like, this card starts your combos, dude. Like when you dump this and you summon this, and the game is over. Like if your opponent doesn't have an out, like you can like, yeah, you just don't. I don't know why this is so expensive. I don't even use this effect, dude. Like I just use this to dump it to the ritual big boy, like Albazo. Yeah, but yeah, you can like summon another Dogmatica card with this thing when this thing hits the grave. Yeah, this thing, like, yeah, this deck, like, activates a lot of cards from the grave, which is pretty interesting. Yeah, to have that. Herald of Dark Lights, search more. So, I also run a couple of rank 8s. I have the Hard Earth Dragon, I have a Draglubian, I have Hope Harbinger to stop spells, I have Dingirsu to remove spot removal, non-targeting spot removal. Again, you run a couple of level 8s. You have the, again, the Dogmatica Maximus, you have Orochi, Gizmic Orochi that can special summon several times for your turn and your opponent's turn as well. And then you have Fleur de Lis, so you can run into a lot of rank 8s. Yeah, I use Red Eyes Dark Dragoon and then rank 8s the most. And then as a rank 4, because you run a couple of level 4s, I have an Honor Arc just cause. And then, yeah, Tri Brigade to dump the little Garura, and then a Linkuriboh. Yeah, so that's extra deck. I have a couple of sidecards for fun. I have this Iron Punch Theo. He's not that great. He's there. I just put in for fun. And then White Relic is okay as well. Again, like kind of weak. It's just there. Tornado Dragon and then another Ultimate Slayer. So yeah, this is actually a fun deck. Out of like all the newer cards, like comparing it to like Orcus, Thunder Dragon, Tearlaments, Summon Greats, Kashtira, all the crazy like combo decks where you can summon like 12 monsters in one turn to gate everything. This is actually not bad. It's kind of like counters it because like it removes a lot of extra deck cards, so it's pretty cool. Kind of like fairy negation decks, which I really like. So yeah, hope I gave you guys some like good suggestions. Um, yeah, it's a fun deck to play, a fun negation deck. All right, hope you guys like it and have a good day. See ya.